Do you see that Rick Rubin clip that's going around?
What is that?
I might have said it to you, maybe not. It's about don't do art for the audience.
Got to do it a little for the audience.
That's what I think.
That's the interesting thing. Is like, okay, you're in a different field than us, Rick Rubin. Like, all due respect, he's
only advice
for a sec.
And he's not even an artist.
Well, he makes stuff.
He produces art.
But I think the difference is
he's like a Don King.
Yeah, I mean,
he's the white
the
Don
on
King.
The other end.
Yeah.
But it's with us especially, we focus group.
That's
stuff,
true.
Right?
Stand-up's different in that way.
Stand-up's different. Go ahead, though.
To anyone, and to do what you love, and to make things that you love, whatever it is.
This is the clip I
make
saw.
your favorite things. Be the you be the audience. Make the thing for you. The
Put
audience.
a diary entry. That was his big angle. He's like,
I think to some degree he's right. I mean, I agree with it a little bit. Where it's like, yeah, make what you would want to see. I mean, we fucking wrote a movie together. It's a movie we would want to see, right?
True. Yeah, I think that's it with the glasses.
Any of these metrics of which is better, like the idea of the Oscars.
That's not it. God damn, it went viral. That's the only reason I bring it up. But it brought a lot of thoughts into my head, and that's why I bring it up to you, because I want to hear your take. Basically saying, don't do art for the audience. That's basically what Marvel is doing. It's just like explosions and superheroes and fun, and it's not art. It's just like, hey, this is catered to you. Quick, easy, done, you leave. He's like, art should be like a diary entry. You show people, and don't worry about what they think. But ironically, if you open up enough, they will like it more than they like the Marvel movie. That was the big takeaway.
Yes and no, right? Like a diary entry, to me, that feels like the comics who are like, this is my therapy. And I'm like, cool, where's the joke?
Ooh,
I think there's a middle ground where you can make it personal, but also make it for the audience. Like, make it you, but make it, I mean, that's what we're doing with jokes, right? This is our life and this is our perspective, but it's always going to be that. As long as you stay unpretentious with your comedy, and you remember, like, I'm doing this for laughs. I'm not doing this to make a point or to pander. I mean, the type of shit where people are like, this should be a diary entry.
Diary entries aren't funny. I mean, unless you're like, I got finger fucked by my dad. You're like, holy shit, this is crazy.
My favorite part of the Anne Frank book. But
but they're not. It's not great entertainment.
No.
I mean, that's one chapter out of the diary. Not one chapter, one snippet. It's not the full book. The full book is like, I went to school today and I talked to Tommy and he's cute and oh boy, I got excited, and then I got a tummy ache. That ain't good art.
I agree. That being said, there is like a type of movie where it like feels, where the dialogue feels very real.
Yeah.
Right? And that is like a genre where you're like, okay, well, this isn't like a movie where the dialogue's meant to be snappy. This is meant to be truthful. And that's fine. That's cool.
Yes.
I feel like Noah Baumbach will make movies like that. Right? Where it's like, this is supposed to feel real. There was a movie called Columbus a few years ago. And that was like another good, with John Cho, and I forgot the actress's name. She's really good. But there's movies like that where the point is to be real, and
but it's still got to be good. It's like you said, you need a middle ground. It's like Barbie. Barbie's a perfect example. I don't know how good it was, but like, it's huge numbers. People love it. It's blowing up. It's number one on HBO now. It's number one in the theaters. Made more money than any movie in the last couple of years, whatever. But it's Greta Gerwig, and then Noah Baumbach wrote it together, but they wrote it to be a little more mainstream, and they're very kind of alty indie directors.
Yeah.
And they wrote it. They met in the middle. They wrote it to be mainstream, but you have their talents, but still channeling it through this kind of mainstream vehicle.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's so good or so big.
Big. I didn't like it personally. I know I'm probably not the target demo for that movie.
Sure.
But like, it looked beautiful. There's a lot of cool things about it, but like, I didn't think it was funny or witty, to be honest.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that funny. I thought it had moments of like, oh, that's a clever turn, and that's an interesting look on that. But I'm with you, but I'm just saying, like, I think you got to meet in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, look, that was like for the masses. That's what it was made for, and that's fine if that's what you're trying to make, right? Like, it would be weird if they made like an indie Barbie film. That would be weird too, right?
God, that would be weird. She's a cutter, she's cutting plastic and it won't bleed.
Winona Ryder.
Yeah.
No, it's I don't know, man. It's
Lena Dunham as Barbie. She's all fat and tatted up. Yeah. All right. But I think that's a good bit.
Yeah, I just think you need it to be you, or else it's not going to have an original spin on it. But like, I've seen the comics that are like, this is my diary entry, and I want to fucking leave the room.
I know.
It's not funny.
I'm with you.
We watched that shit, like, we came up in that alt boom.
Yes.
And we saw those guys kind of blow up. Well, I was like, I don't think this motherfucker can play Idaho.
Oh, God, no.
You know, like, I don't think this person can play America. I think you're killing in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
But it's not, and it's cool that, like, you know, the guys coming up that we liked, like Louis, were like, or Attell, I thought they could kill any of them.
Anywhere. A funny joke's a funny joke, and it doesn't have to be this heartfelt, open, vulnerable thing, and that's
that
great.
Can be done well.
That can be done well, but
there's a skill in that as well. But
it's still called comedy.
Yeah,
and what comedy means: funny jokes, laughs, and no one's laughing. So, like, what are we doing here?
But there are a lot of different types
subjective.
of comedies, and there's a lot of different. You know, it's like you can make a heartfelt comedy, and or you can make like a punchy comedy, a dirty comedy. There's so much type of shit you can make. You know.
Yeah, but I think if you're standing in front of an audience that paid to see you in Cleveland, they got to be entertained or laughing, or you're failing.
Does Rick Rubin create music, or is he a producer? I mean, what is he?
He's a producer. I saw an interview with him. It was 60 Minutes. He was like, I can't play an instrument. He goes, I just know what I like.
And he's barefoot.
So I can find that for you.
And he's got a beard.
Yeah. I just know what I like. Not shaving.
Yeah, exactly.
And shoes. I hate shoes.
Hate shoes.
No, I think there's obviously a skill in that. There's a skill in being a great producer, but also it is weird when people that aren't creators are like, this is how you create.
Yeah.
Because you're an observer of creating. Like, you know, you work with like the Beastie Boys, and who else did he work with? I mean, he's got an amazing
all
list.
these rappers.
Jay-Z. There's an amazing video of him like working out a song with Jay-Z.
Tom Petty.
99 Problems. He was like, we should do a cappella in the beginning. You know the song. Where like,
sure, yeah.
99 Problems. He said
Jay-Z originally said it should be 101 Problems, and he was like, no, it should be 99.
Guru. All right.
I'm not saying he doesn't know his stuff, but I do think if he didn't look like that, nobody would listen to him.
Yeah.
I think if he had a suit on and a part in his hair, I think no one would give a fuck. And I think he knows that. But don't play it. Everybody knows 99 Problems. Right. But the point is...
I like you asked if I knew that song. Hey, do you know the movie... Do you know the movie Oppenheimer?
Yeah.
I've heard of it.
Rick Rubin produced that.
Did he?
No, I'm joking.
I mean, you never know.
You never know.
These fucking movies.
He's got his hand in everything. And I think now he's just good to have it's good to have his name on shit. Like, he's gone that far where he's like this legend status. And I'm not saying he doesn't know his shit. I'm just saying I don't think he understands all of it. He still needs the artist. He couldn't make something on his own. It's one thing to be able to listen to an artist and be like, change that, change this, change that. I'm a genius. Yeah, but you couldn't have done it without them.
But also being able to pull something out of somebody is a magical trait, and what a producer does in music, at least. Yeah. And I think he does that really well.
No, there are legendary producers, and I've been around producers where I'm like, I see that. Where they have a definite talent, but I don't know. But there's also a lot of producers who stink and leech on the fucking people more talented than them, and then try to fuck them over.
Yeah, there's definitely that.
There's a lot.
To me, this is kind of like when a lady says, like, I love funny guys. And you're like, yeah, but you're not blowing Chris Farley, you know?
I hope not now.
Well, yeah, that'd be a dirty,
bad blowjob.
Dirty, bony blowjob. Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, yeah, you do love funny guys as long as they're 6'1", rich, and fit. Like, this homeless guy could be hilarious. And, like, I'm being extreme here. I'm generalizing.
Yeah, you put your money where your mouth is. Suck off that homeless guy.
But the thing of, like, hey, it's got to be a diary entry. And it's like, yeah, but there are diary entries that are super boring and there's nothing there. So, like, you can't just say that and have it be the end-all, be-all.
We're fighting the indulgence of a diary entry. That's, like, I think what bothers us is that, like, someone like you're honing your shit.
Yes.
You're taking so much care in it. You're, like, kind of, like, searching. I've watched you for years. I've watched Mark for so long, like, trying to figure out bits. And I think when he says that, I think Mark is his reaction.
I get angry.
You're annoyed because you're
annoyed.
Like, no, it's more than that.
Yes.
It's more than a fucking diary. A diary entry is, like, stream of consciousness. It's self-indulgent.
Right,
and
right.
it's like, okay, done. It took 8 minutes.
Yeah.
I think
there's no fine-tuning.
I think
no
we're
editing.
reading into it. Look, any quote, you're going to read into it the way you read into it, but I feel the same way as you.
All right, I appreciate it. But that's why I brought it up, because I think it sparks a good debate.
It's like when you guys say in comedy, it's like, that was your first thought. You got to get past that.
Yeah.
Get past the first thought. Go to your second or third.
That's why you write a screenplay 8 times, because it keeps getting better and better. I mean, sometimes you get overwrite, but yeah, I think with this, the diary entry thing, you're like, it's still Richard Pryor is so honest. That's why he's great. He's honest. Yeah, but he's also fucking hilarious.
I know.
So he can't just go, oh, he lit his hair on fire. I can't just go out and go, hey, I lit my hair on fire.
Honesty is not funny.
It's not funny.
Here's the guy being honest.
Mean.
I have AIDS. I guess that is funny.
That was funny.
That was pretty good. Okay, honesty is funny. I take it back. Honesty's good.
But I remember Jim Norton had the great point of like someone called in to Jim and Sam when I was on. He made a fat joke or something, and somebody was like, "You think fat people are funny?" And he's like, "Well, no, I made it funny. If I see a 700-pound guy on the street, I'm not like, that's hilarious." Same with Seinfeld. A toothbrush isn't funny, but he made it funny.
Right.
And I'm like, that's a great point.
Inherently funny.
Nothing's inherently funny, and a diary entry isn't inherently interesting. So it's still got to be good.
I think that's the problem with a lot of these podcasts now, is that people are speaking in absolutes.
Yes.
And you're like, this is a secret sauce right here. They're trying to sound interesting. There is no secret sauce.
Right.
Figure out for yourself. This is a trial and error pursuit. I mean, you're going on stage and you slip and you fall on your face. You're like, that one's not funny.
Yeah.
Then you go to the next one. See if you slip and fall. There's no secret to this.
There's no. And here's what I want Rick Rubin to do. If we're really where the rubber meets the road, he links up with Tom Petty. Hey, Tom Petty, I'm Rick Rubin. I'm a legend. I have no shoes on. Let me come over and work with you, and we'll do a new album.
Well, I'll be Tom Petty. No dice, dude. You got to wear shoes to my place.
No shoes, no service.
Oh, yeah. Fun to do that one.
All right. But my point is, take Salacuse, who's never written a comedy hour in his life, and go, well, you're actually kind of funny. So let's take Salacuse and go, you're going to be a model. Right. Next male model.
Yeah.
That's hurtful.
That, to me, would be like, oh, shit, this guy is fucking talented. He can take the ugliest man in New York. I'm just kidding. He can take this guy and make him the next big thing. Sorry. But you know what I'm saying. He's going to make you an NBA star, or whatever. Like, that would be like, okay, Rick Rubin is a fucking genius. He took this guy and made him play for the Knicks.